With Rhys Williams here, who's talking at the Grassland conference, and he's got a very interesting story about his background and where he's come from and what we can learn from it here in Ireland. So Rhys, can you briefly tell me how you started to become farming on a large scale in Wales today?
Well, Pat, it probably goes back about 10 years ago. I gave up on Wales basically. I went over to New Zealand because I knew there was huge opportunities there if you were willing to work hard, and you know, the share milking system and things. Yeah. And I basically came by a large landowner called David Winfinch virtually by a chance meeting when I was home for a couple of weeks on holiday one year. And he had this idea of adapting his farm. He had a large block of land which was in beef and sheep production, and he had this concept of adapting a New Zealand style milking off grass operation. And basically we got chatting, and cut a long story short, we went into partnership together, into a share milking partnership together, and in July 2004 we calved down 800 Jersey heifers. In January 2005, sorry, we calved down 800 Jersey heifers.
And so you started out at a fairly large scale and you've expanded significantly since then. What were the strengths that both you and David, or what did you bring to the partnership?
At that initial point, obviously David's strength was he was a large landowner. He had a large base of ground which we could farm on. I had the practical knowledge and the on-the-ground knowledge of. I'd already been in New Zealand, managed largest herds, so that initial coming together worked excellently well, and then we've grown since then. We've doubled the herd size, and we've had to learn a lot of new skills over the last 8 years to actually achieve our goal again.
So at this stage you're milking cows on 2 milking platforms, I understand, and about to start the third. How have you managed people, or how did you learn to manage people, or was that David's strength? Or
it's both. I would say both of us are quite good with people in general, but it took a lot of it was a steep learning curve basically. I did an Nuffield scholarship in 2010. And the topic was wealth creation in dairy farming, and it became quite apparent very early on during my study and my travels that the main key to growing a business is people, and it's as simple as that.
So I believe today you're talking also about setting up your own farm where you are the sole owner. Why the change?
It was always an ambition, since I was very young. Because I'm not from my parents had a small block of land, so there's always an aspiration to have our own farm. So yeah, that was a long-term goal basically.
So I suppose you've come from no serious farming backing to owning a farm. What would you say to young people here in Ireland who might be looking at the dairy industry, and what can they do to move up the ladder in terms of starting as farm workers and moving to ultimately farm ownership? What should they do, or what key things should they start out with to be able to do what you've done?
I think the key one is actually learning as much as they can in the initial period. Going out there, working for the best operators, identifying the best people in Ireland, in the UK, in New Zealand, and working for them and learning off them. And because what the industry is severely lacking in is people who can manage large farms, and it comes back to the people managing aspect of the whole thing. And if young people can go out there and learn those skills, there's always going to be opportunities for them. And if they put up, they've got to put goals in place to actually achieve it.
So it is possible, and your testament to show that it's possible, and the message to young people is yes, it's possible.
Oh yeah, of course it's possible. Anything's possible if you put your mind and 100% commitment into something.